What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and excitement levels were here. Oh god, it's still dropping. It's still dropping. Wow, that was awful. that was one of the worst preseason matches I think I've ever seen from us, and that's saying a lot because we've had some pitiful ones. But this was awful. I mean, this was just a terrible match to watch. This is against a team that just joined the MLS. They're an awful team. They played terribly. They flopped around all night. The referee gave them everything they wanted, and we just sat around, thumbs up our asses, just doing nothing. It was embarrassing to watch. We walked most of that game. I I at least, you get your bad performances out in preseason at least, because holy shit, that was, oh. Anyways, let's go ahead and discuss some of the players that have played themselves out of the team, in my opinion, and then a couple of the ones that did do okay. Because nobody really had a fantastic game tonight. Like there were some players that played okay throughout the match. They had some good moments, but everybody had moments throughout this match where they were just losing the ball, walking around, not really involved. So I can't really say that anybody had a great game tonight against Charlotte. Against Charlotte. Not against one of the MLS teams that's been here for a few years. No, Charlotte. Just let that sink in for a second. And, maybe finally somebody can point out that Tuchel has no idea what he's doing because Sarr is still here with his team. Don't know why. But yeah, so first half, kind of a mix of a lineup. I mean, Mendy's in goal for the entire game. So I don't know if Kepa's just hurt or if they're planning to sell him. I don't know what's going on, but he's not there. Bettinelli also didn't even make the bench. It was some kid that didn't play. But you've got a back line. You've got Silva, Emerson, and James. So Silva's going to be there. We know that. James at center back. Right center back. He's a wing back. And that's where he's going to be playing. So why are we playing him here? Emerson is going to be gone soon. So why is he playing there? Alonso also going to be gone soon. Why is he starting? And then you had Hudson-Odoi on the right side, which I guess he played so terribly up top. Maybe try to slide him out on the right where he's typically a bit better. And he didn't really do anything. But, I mean, that's that back five. You got two players that are most likely on their way out. One that just had a terrible game against Club America and should be on his way out. And then you've got one starting defender and then one that's normally at wing back playing in defense. So that back line is already a little weird. Kovacic and Jorginho in the middle, so kind of typical from what we've seen. So that's fine. I still have my issues with Jorginho, but it's fine to see him there. And both of them did okay today. I guess as far as performances from that back five, like I said, Hudson-Odoi once again showing he just doesn't have it. Alonso did okay, had some decent moments. Maybe raised his price tag a little bit. Emerson, I actually thought looked okay defensively. He had some good moments where he cut off some passes or there were a couple breakaways that he managed to break up. So thought he did fine. Silva and James both were solid, as they typically are. So yeah, I mean, back seven or whatever, pretty good. It was okay. Nothing fantastic. Except for, Hudson-Odoi was not okay. He was less than okay. And then you go to your front three. You've got Pulisic, Ziyech, and then Batshuayi. After last game, I didn't expect to see Batshuayi again. I don't know why Werner didn't play at all today, and Batshuayi did. But that front three is, you've got two players that can be creative at times, and then you've got one that just showed in the last match that he likes to waste chances. And he did again today. Pulisic, got himself the goal, but overall, not really effective on the ball. There were too many moments where it felt like he was getting crowded out or wasn't really finding space to run. Ziyech, probably one of our best attacking players in both halves. Like, based on what I saw in the second half, Ziyech was our best attacking player today. And that's just because he was constantly trying to make something happen, at least. Like, he was busy, he was trying to win the ball back. On the ball, he looked pretty creative. Obviously, he's got to work on that finishing aspect because too many of his shots were wide or high. But he's showing that he's got the creativity to get the job done. So I don't understand why we've got him and then Batshuayi. Because he doesn't have anybody to play to whenever he does turn on the creative juices. So first half, it was okay. We weren't great. There were moments where we looked a little shaky, but for the most part, we dominated the play. We created the most chances. We looked good. And then the second half comes, and this is the one I was a little bit more excited about because you got Gallagher, you got Ampadu, you got Colwill, you got Sterling, you got all these players that I'm excited to see. And for the first 10, 15 minutes, I was like, okay, not bad, except for Sterling, not bad. And then it's like Sterling started to step his game up as the second half went on, and everybody else just sort of took a few notches off, and it was mostly Charlotte's second half. And I do think some of that is down to you had a lot of youth. You didn't have a whole lot of experience in the back seven that second half. You had Chilwell, which is fine, though he's still returning from injury, and he looks like he's returning from injury because he doesn't look nearly 100%, looks maybe 50%. But you've got Sarr, who shouldn't be playing for us, period. Colwill, whose first game for us is today. Chalobah, who has proven himself time and again. Kennedy on the right side, who only has played a few games for us, and now he's playing on the right side, which typically is on the left. And you got Ampadu and Gallagher, both of which Ampadu's played a few games. Gallagher is just coming back to us from loan. So you've got a very inexperienced back line playing together. I don't really get that. First of all, you've got Aspilicueta to use, but why not save Silva for this group? Put Silva alongside Chalobah and Colwill, so that way your experienced veteran defender can organize them and make sure things are okay. Because that was kind of our biggest issue that second half was all of the lack of experience back there caused us issues. Bad giveaways, turnovers, balls that were just kicked up to nobody. Like there were too many moments of that, and it just led to a lot of attack from Charlotte's side until eventually they get lucky and shot comes in. Chalobah for some reason goes in like he's celebrating a goal. I don't know why his arms are up there. And that's all it takes. And now all of a sudden it's a 1-1 game. And we just tied a new MLS team. So, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous that Tuchel put this lineup in second half. All of this inexperience trying to play together. What are they learning from that? Like, there's nothing to learn there. It's just a bunch of young players who are trying to fit into this Chelsea squad, and you've put all of them together alongside nobody who will be starting, aside from Chilwell and Chalobah, most likely. So I don't know. I don't get that. I think it's another dumb Tuchel decision, which he's shown time and time again that he loves to make. And yeah, it hurt us, because that second half was really frustrating for me to watch. So, as far as performances go, Sarr was kind of his typical self. He had some good moments, but I mean, if he's playing against a better team, he's going to get burned and embarrassed time and again. On the ball, he still looks very shaky. Colwill didn't see much from him, honestly. Like, he had a couple decent moments defensively. Passing, he looked okay. I will say there were a couple moments where he decided to stand off, one of which led to the penalty because he didn't go in, he didn't put pressure on the kid, and so then he's able to take a further touch outside, which then means Chalobah now has to slide out and do a last-ditch tackle, stupidly. And yeah, as far as Chalobah is concerned, looks a little shaky. Doesn't look nearly the level that I remember seeing him last season, and that handball is very naive and comes from inexperience, so he's going to have to step his game up if he wants to remain one of our best choices. So that whole back three, all of them, didn't really do much to impress tonight. They were all very So, I mean, with Koulibaly coming in, it seems very likely that Koundé is going to be signed for us soon, hopefully. And then we get one more defender, or we keep hold of Aspilicueta. I don't see any of this back three getting much time. And that includes Chalobah. Like, if he plays like this, I don't see him getting a whole lot of time. Wingbacks wise, Chilwell, like I said, doesn't look fully fit. Looks still returning from injury, 50%. Looks slow. He had a couple decent moments, but overall looks slow. Kennedy, probably one of the better performers in the second half, and I find myself shocked to say that. but he was working pretty hard. He was trying to make things happen, making a lot of good runs. Granted, he was mainly playing right wing because there were several moments where we get the ball and he's able to get him behind because he's all the way up there on the last defender. So that's not really a right wing back. So we can't rely on him if we need defensive cover because I don't think he's going to give us a whole lot of that. But so far he's shown himself to be a decent option if we need somebody out there that's going to make those runs in behind from wide and try to make something happen with it. So if he can keep that up, I could see him sticking around, being an option off the bench if we need him. But I mean, I still don't see enough from him to say, yes, he's going to upseat Chilwell or James from their wingback position. I don't see that happening anytime soon. In the middle, Ampadu and Gallagher. Gallagher was his usual energetic self. What he needs is a little bit more refinement, I guess, with his touch, with his play. There are a few too many times where it feels like touch let him down, or I don't know, just his passing wasn't always on point. So he's going to bring a lot of energy and a lot of pressure whenever he plays, because watching him, he's kind of similar to Mount in that respect, in that you don't want to bench him because he's constantly putting the other team under pressure. He's running. He doesn't really stop very often. But unlike Mount, he definitely seems a little bit less refined, is like the best term I can think of. Like, he just doesn't quite seem like he has the touchdown. Ampadu had some decent passes in there, but still looks a little off the pace, looks a little slow at times, doesn't really do well under pressure. He does fine whenever he has a chance to pick his head up and find a pass. Like, he looks really good there, but when they were putting high pressure on him, he really struggled. I'm pretty sure he's the one that gave the ball away that led to the penalty. Yeah, I feel like he's got to learn to play a lot quicker if he wants to get a chance in the midfield like that. Because based on his passing, he seems like he could play that sort of deep-lying distributor like what everybody thinks Jorginho does. He doesn't do that. He loses the ball a lot, and he just knocks it back and forth, right side to side. Ampadu actually does look to go long, more like what Fabregas used to do for us. So he can do it, but he's got to learn to play quicker. Fabregas learned in the Premier League, he learned how to use his wits, his knowledge to make sure he didn't get in trouble. And he had time and space to find those great passes. Or if he was under high pressure, he was able to get those passes out a lot quicker. But Ampadu's got to figure that out if he wants a chance to play for us. As far as the front three is concerned, like I said, Sterling did not start the half well at all. A lot of standing, and honestly, throughout most of that second half, it felt like he wasn't really working himself 100%. Which, I mean, it's preseason, so you're just kind of getting some touches in. You're wanting to, work on your fitness a bit. So maybe he was told, don't go too hard, don't push yourself too hard. If that's the case, they should have told him, but don't walk, don't jog for most of the half. Because when I'm watching, I'm thinking, he's not doing a thing. But he did show some glimpses of what we paid the money for. His ability to get in and out of challenges real quick, his ability to draw a foul. He's shown that time and time again for City, and he showed that again today. And in a few moments here and there, it wasn't a consistent thing throughout the half, but he looked okay. He looked pretty solid when he did finally get up to speed. Mount, I thought, was okay overall. I thought he wasn't quite his usual self, but I attribute that to it's preseason, so he's still getting up to speed. He's still finding his rhythm, because he had some moments where he looked like his typical self. Good passing, good moments on the ball, good pressure off the ball. But there were some moments as well where I'm thinking, not a great touch. Looks like he lost the ball too easily. Looks like he got turned too easily. So it definitely looked like a preseason match for him, where he had his moments where he looks good, and then he had his moments where he didn't look as good. And Havertz, I'm a little worried because it's 2 games in a row where I feel like he was just sort of out there. He wasn't really providing his usual danger in the final third. His ability to make some good runs, his ability to draw defenders and really put them under pressure, good touches around the box. I didn't see much of that today. There's a lot of he's standing up there, ball goes long, he might win it in the air, but that's it. He's not going to keep possession. And then a couple times when we did get the ball to him, didn't do well enough to keep possession, ended up losing it. So, yeah, not the greatest performance from him tonight, and hopefully something that he can shake off, for the weekend, because we do need him to be at the top of his game, since I have no idea what's going on with the striker situation. With Broja being hurt, and now Havertz isn't really cutting it. Obviously, Batshuayi is not up to the level that we need. Werner, for some reason, Tuchel doesn't like to use as a striker. He prefers using him out wide. And we missed out on Lewandowski. We didn't sign Ronaldo. No real strikers are coming in, and it doesn't sound like we're in the market for a striker. So I don't know what they're planning. I don't know if this is from Tuchel, like, no, it's fine, we're good. If so, then he really is the idiot that I think he is. Because we need somebody who can definitely score. And Havertz, at times, has shown he can. But you look at those, outside of those few instances where he's shown to be a good goal scorer, and for a large majority, I feel like, of his career here at Chelsea, I mean, it's not been that long, but over the past couple of years, a large majority of it has been he's not really a great finisher. He's okay, he's good, he's not great, and we need somebody who can really put the goals away, especially with some of the attacking intent that we have now. So, but yeah, overall, I'm frustrated. I think it was a rather pathetic game. It was not what I want to see out of a preseason game. I don't want to see us walking around. I don't want to see us getting embarrassed by an MLS side, because it's just not fun. I want to get excited for this season. I want to see, look at these players we brought in. We're going to face off against a side that's lower than us because, we're not up to full fitness, but we're going to get there. This is a good game to work our legs, to knock the ball around. And instead what it turned into was, first of all, like I said earlier, a lot of flopping from their side and the ref being an idiot about it. But also it was just, there was a lot of, you got one guy going off after the ball while everybody else is standing and watching it happen. And it wasn't good. It wasn't a good performance. It wasn't an exciting performance. It was very poor. And hopefully it's one of those poor performances that it's like, okay, we got work to do, and not a poor performance where it's like, it's okay, guys. You guys did fine. We'll go again in the weekend. Because, I mean, that's not at all what we need right now. We need somebody to give us a little kick in the ass and say, hey, it's not good enough. We have no business drawing against an MLS side like this. But anyways, that's about it for me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts in another preseason match? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe, future Chelsea reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.